Hi, I'm Grace. I'm the 2017-2018 editor of the Woodside High School yearbook. I was in yearbook last year and now I'm the editor. And so basically, I just wanted to introduce myself before getting into the design and the organization of the yearbook. So one of the first things you'll have to do as editor is help your class choose the theme for the yearbook, and this will define like your cover, and it will also define how you do your layouts. So you can get a lot of inspiration from Jostens through stuff like the design gallery, through the themes in your page designer. So like if you like that moment when, you can look at all the different parts of that moment when there as well. Besides that, like once you decide on that overall theme, you're going to have to start designing your specific layouts, and to do that you need to decide on your colors and your fonts that will be the only fonts and colors shown in the yearbook to keep the theme consistent and make everything look very cohesive. So you will go to plan and color palettes. So as you can see here, like the classic color palette and the summer color palette are shown as active, and what that means is that like people can use them, like they can use those colors, and if I turned it off they would no longer be able to use that color. And so at the beginning of the year you'll receive a book from Jostens that includes all the different color palettes in it, and you can look at those and decide what you want, and like basically you can put something as active or inactive. You'll probably want to limit the colors you use to 1 or 2 palettes, just because you don't want the yearbook to be crazy with all different colors on every page. You want to have one tone of blue, one tone of green, one tone of red, of course orange. So besides just that, you'll need your fonts, so you can go in and look at all the different fonts and decide which ones you want active or inactive, like this. Inactive. These will be the only fonts available when people are writing their write-ups and stuff like that. They'll be the only ones they can use, which is good. Next, you want to start creating your layouts. When doing your layouts, like consistency is key, and you're going to want to have certain layouts like throughout the book. You'll want your like sports layouts and your event layouts. So I'll go to my page designer and kind of show you the templates I've created that ended up being the templates that like I put into the yearbook. So there's a lot in here, but you'll see like activity, full, write, final, template. If I open this is how I decided to do the template for the write title version of the activity page that I used with the left activity page, which is here. So it's just the reverse of this page. So there's a little more like variety in the book on page design, but they have the same boxes and everything. And so everything that was classified as an activity in the book, I would put this template onto that page and use that. And you'll also need your sports pages, your event pages, and those can all be found in here as well. To create a page in the yearbook, the first thing you're going to do is go through Create and make a new practice page, and we'll call this like example of template, because that's what we'll be doing. So once I've created a new practice page, I'm going to, use all the things I've picked out to create a page, whether that's a sports page or, where the mugs will be. So if I want to put a text, or this is a photo box, I use that button and put it in here. Or a text box, like the important thing is to press it only once, delete all the text inside, and then put it where you want it. So if I wanted this to be a quote next to a photo, I could be like, have it there. And basically, like once you have your page designed, you'll want to go and save it as a template. And once you have it saved as a template, like you write everything it is, that's how it shows up in your My Templates folder. And then you can drag it into the real yearbook pages and change what you need to, which will be the title, and have them fit. And so I'm going to show you the important things to include in each page using a few templates. So I'll use the sports right final template. So when we're looking at this, like as we said before, like you need to include your team photo space, and you're going to need to include all the team names. You'll also need to, on each and every page that's like a main normal layout, not the mugs or clubs or the senior pages, you'll need captions, and you'll also need a title and a write-up, which like I have is this, but you might want to have a more defined space for it. And with that write-up, you'll need a lead-in. My lead-in is with the title, and you'll also need at least 2 quotes, just so you're getting like student opinions and student involvement on your page and on your topic. As you can see, like I've incorporated like color in my fonts. I have a lot of photo boxes, and these will be the ones with captions, and then pictures like these don't need them because they're more just accent photos. And yes, you'll definitely want to know how to do is how to lock a page, because when it comes to like when kids will actually use these layouts and be assigned to different things, like for example girls varsity water polo, when a student is doing this page, you won't want them to be able to move around this box and mess it up. So how you do that, how to lock certain things, is select what you want, and you could do this by going to select all images and just getting every image in one go, because that's something you won't want them to change the position of. Going to this lock icon and pressing lock position, because I now cannot move this box around no matter like if I press on it or anything. And you won't want kids to be able to do that either. And yeah, just know that you're going to want to make these left and right page designs, like as in like sports final as in the left side and sports final on the right side, meaning your title is on either the left or the right side, because it just adds a little more diversity in the book. And you'll want to make sure your pages have different colors. Another important part about being the editor-in-chief is the editing, obviously, and this will be editing the pages kids turn in, and maybe the ones you turn in as well, and making sure they have as little grammatical errors and design errors as possible. So it's really important to look at certain characteristics like the spelling and the write-ups and the captions, as well as the grammar and just the fact that if the sentences make sense or not, and making sure everything is in its right place on the page, that nothing's been moved, even though you have locked the pages, sometimes there are still problems with that, and making sure they have numbered all the pages correctly, clockwise and in the right order. And besides that, making sure that they have every part of the page completed, and it's not just the filler that you put into the layouts. And you'll just make sure they turn in the pages on time as well, because it's the yearbook and gotta turn them in. And the last thing I'm going to talk about when it comes to being editor-in-chief is just the facilitation of the yearbook and making sure the class and everything is handled well. I mean, everyone's awesome in yearbook, so it won't be that hard. But you need to make sure everyone turns in their pages on time. And besides that, you'll be running a class, so you'll need to know how to do that, and I have a video on that.
So while you're facilitating your class, one thing you're going to want to do is debriefs from time to time to just review different events you've put on or activities you've done as a class. You want to get everyone's opinions on things. You don't just want to be leading without seeing how everyone else feels about something. So for example, like this is how you would lead a debrief. You're gonna make a chart that has like the positives, which are things we did well, and then your deltas, which aren't things that we did bad, but is things you can improve on, like as a class. So it's only constructive ideas, because like putting in things that we can't work on isn't really helpful to anyone. And so, for example, like we could do one at the end of the year after the yearbook has been finished, everyone's pages have been submitted. We'd go up and do one recapping like how we thought the yearbook went, and like we usually like alternate colors, and for each positive and for each delta, so you can clearly see like which one's which. And so you'd put 2 minutes on the clock and have the different kids like raise their hands. Like you can step out of your role and say things about it if you want.
Yearbook is great, and you'll be so happy when it's finished, and it will feel so rewarding. So just remember to have fun and be friends with everyone in your class and enjoy the time and enjoy the book. Thanks for watching, and good luck as editor-in-chief.